up, bro? Leak behind the list, Kicknosis production on the ComeUp. My man, Leak, bro. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? What's good?
Man, what's good? Shit, everything good. First question is, who are you?
Who am I? Man, first of all, I'm gonna just say I'm a son, you know, originally, always. I'm a brother, a friend. I don't know, I'm a good person, man. I like just doing me, man.
Where you from?
DC, man, born and raised. Oh my gosh, yeah. Originally from like Georgia Avenue area. Like my grandmother's house, 609. Can't let y'all know the rest of that, but yeah. So uptown, definitely born and raised, and then moved out towards like Maryland and whatnot. So a little bit of different parts, but I definitely say I'm from the DC area.
What was it like growing up?
It was cool, man. It was definitely cool. DC is one of those places where you got a little bit of everything there. It's definitely become different, but I think everybody in the area in itself has like their own personality. We got our own culture here, so everything is everything. But for me personally, growing up, it was definitely a lot of moving. So I never really had like a set foundation. So I just be all over the place. I knew people from like Maryland when I lived out there, and then DC as well from where I was born and raised.
What were you like as a kid?
Oh shoot, oh man. I'm burnt out. This got me thinking. As a kid, man, I was real. I guess you say I was creative, man. Honestly, like I had a vivid imagination. I remember times like where I used to be like with my brother and shit, and he'll like come over and stay over the house, and I used to just like play with like action figures all the time, man. And I would make up my own little concepts with it. It's crazy. Like I give the characters like their own names. Everybody had their own little background, and everything could just be. It'll eventually just turn into like a whole story, man. I used to have stuff like just. I don't know. It was crazy. I had like a crazy imagination as a kid, and shoot, honestly, that was like probably the biggest part of my childhood. If it wasn't video games, man, I was drawing a lot. I was definitely into a lot of like comics, and just having like a wild imagination and just creating from the world around me. I remember being in middle school, and I did this little whole comic book. It was called Little Stick, right? And he was like a stick figure. He was like a secret agent, but he also played like a double life. Like he was trying to be like, go to school and whatnot. And looking back, I think it was kind of like a representation of myself. But just stuff like that, I'd always either be like, real vivid with my imagination, or I'd be, just doing something creative. And it was cool because I had a lot of people who were into the same stuff as me. So I ain't never felt like I didn't I don't know, like what I was into was weird. So
how did you get started in graphic design?
Man, graphic design, shoot, bro, that's alright. So I remember like times where I would like just draw stuff, and my pops would tell me like, hey, you should start doing it on the computer. And I used to, as a kid, you ain't really listening to it or nothing. Like I just do it because I like it. And then as time progressed, I remember my brother Dre put me onto Photoshop, and I was super interested in like how people did advertisements or like cover art and whatnot. Like I used to look at it was this band called Linkin Park, and I used to listen to their music all the time in middle school, and they had certain videos that I really liked, and then I would go to their cover art and I'd be like, yo, this is tight, I want to do something like that. Or I look at like magazines and I see like, people posted up on books and whatnot. And I thought that stuff was cool, and I was like, I want to be the dude that like directs all of that. I didn't know what it was called at the time. I just used to say I want to make magazine covers or stuff like that. And so when my brother put me on Photoshop, man, it was like a whole different world from there, man. Like that jank opened my eyes up to so many things. It was crazy. Like he started showing me like different people who were designing. He showed me some stuff that he did, and then just from there, like I just started getting into it. Like I was designing like non-stop, just randomly doing cover arts cause I wanted to. Like I had a couple homies that rap, it was actually his friends he put me on to, and he was like, hey, make me a cover art, just because he knew I was a creative kid. And I just got to it, man. I just started doing it.
When did you realize it was your passion?
Passion. Definitely when I went to college, towards my senior year. So like I'm gonna definitely say a year ago I started realizing that I was really into it, man. And you know, it took a time for me to like really like, you know what I'm saying, be at a low point and realize that, oh, this is what I want to do. Like I remember being at school and I wanted to give it up like so bad. Like I called my pops. I was like, yo, I don't really want to do this. Like this stuff's stupid. And he's like, man, that's not you. And you know, I was just like, man, whatever. Like, cause he don't get what I'm going through right now. And then I'm just like, man, I'm about to just go ahead and make some art. Like I'm about to just go ahead and design. And I started doing that. I hopped right on Photoshop. And you know, I just went from there. I think what really made me realize it though was like how long of hours I was spending in like an art studio, bro. Like I would like spend countless hours, bro. I would sleep there, man. Like it was crazy. I would like be behind the computer screen just like designing, bro, like going through different people's stuff, trying to make it my own. And it was ridiculous because I have class at like 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the studio since 12 noon. It's like 6 already in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta walk back to my room just to get some sleep, because I can't get caught when they open up the doors and they be like, what you doing here? Like, so like I used to really spend countless hours, bro, just like designing. I'm talking back to back. I used to be late to class because I was working on just shit, man. It was crazy, but I think at that point that's when I realized like yeah, this me, this my heart, man, for real.
So what would you say are some of your influences? If you have any like influence, like some people who like influenced you or inspired you to like start doing like some of the people work that you was looking at?
Yeah, when I get like inspired as a creative, I look at my man Tyler the Creator, bro. That's the homie, bro. Like people used to think that dude was so weird, bro, and I thought that was so cool because it was like, you know what I'm saying, he was just being him. And you know, just seeing how he started, like how he was just like carefree and he kept creating, you know, I thought that was inspirational. But right now, now that I'm more intact as like a artist, there's an artist now, he's from Chicago, his name's Brian Giles, and he does like a lot of illustration works freehand, and a lot of his stuff is either based on him like being in a small room. Like I was watching an interview with him and he was telling me, like, he wasn't telling me, but I felt like he was speaking to me type shit. And he was saying, you know, he doesn't go outside a lot, he don't got a lot of friends. A lot of his stuff is just based upon him being in the room and he draws. And I was like, bro, I feel that, because like you guys, my peoples, I be spending hours alone, bro, just working. They be hitting me up like, yo, what you doing? Like come on out, we trying to hang out. And I just be like, I can't, bro, I'm busy, I be working. So I find him as like a huge inspiration because like he's in tune with his art, and that's so inspirational to me. Like his work is amazing too, bro. He does all of it just like off the thought. I'm trying to get to that point. Like it's cool. It's real cool.
So how would you say your work was when you first started? Like when you went now?
It's ass. It's ass, bro. Like
how was your first couple of concepts?
Like, bro, it's the work. Like, oh my, I ain't even gonna start on myself like that, but it was not good, bro. Like I was just creating stuff. I'm thinking of one joke right now, bro. It's so terrible. Oh my goodness. But I was just doing it, bro. Like I was just like, I don't care what nobody say, this shit gonna be tight. When I first started, bro, I was doing like not TVs, but t-shirts. And I remember there was this graphic designer from high school by the name of Mr. Morton. He taught a graphic design class. And he like said, yeah, y'all do this, y'all could, you know what I'm saying, start making shirts. I was like, bet, my shirt's gonna be better than everybody. Man, I look at that Jane now, that Jane is trash, bro. That Jane is literally a white background with a head on it that I stole from Google, dog. I was just ripping stuff off, bro. And I put my name on it and everything, bro. Yeah, I still got it, bro. I'ma show you, yeah. For real, bro. I used to go by the name like a Jack Beats. I used to take people beats and shit and say, that's mine. Hey, that shit was bad, bro. I could go to mine, but that's.
So what's like the process when you create artwork, when you create logos? Like what's the process with the mindset that you create?
My process is definitely I I have a set thing of what I do. Like alright, so I work with clients now, right? So clients might want different things, and when it comes to my process, it's definitely certain things and elements that I have in it, but I don't necessarily have like a linear path because I'm working with so many different people, and so my process is really based upon like what the other person giving me. It's like an energy type of thing, man. They'll tell me if they want something, or like, you know what I'm saying, we'll bounce ideas off of that, and then I just try to respond. I really pull from a lot of the things around me. Like, I'll like think of something, I'll jot it down, it inspires me, and then I'll just go ahead and do it from there. But as far as like small elements that I have within my process, you know, it's sketching, it's thinking, and it's really just like, you know what I'm saying, seeing what works and don't work. It's trial and error for real. It's no like legit, like I do this, you know what I'm saying, I ain't into all that. I just do it.
So you created stuff for Think Overkill, Damaged Crown, Players HQ, Radical, you know, Revolution Clothing. So how did you, you know, how was that, you know, creating that, and how did you, be able to connect with those people?
Oh man, it's a journey. It's a hell of a journey. Like I said, it's different depending on who I'm working with. Right now, I got on Damaged Crown. That's a homie Cash. He, you know what I'm saying, he took me like up under his wing. He used to do a lot of stuff in the city, and I just found him off of the gram, working with another brand by the name of Mika Lee. And shout out to her, because she put me on really to like a lot of people in the city. Like, she shout me out, and then everybody just started rocking with me since then. So she was really like, you know what I'm saying, the gate for me. But working with everybody, you know, from like Took to Damaged Crown, Mika Lee, Radical, Revolutionary, and so many much more people, man. It's a great feeling, but it's a process because it's so different. Some people need stuff urgently. Some people like take your time on it. I like the way you create. Yeah, it's really I don't know, man. It's I don't even know. Just getting involved with people, I feel like it happened out of nowhere. Like, it was so weird. Like at one moment I remember just like designing, and then next thing you know, I had so many people just like saying, hey yo, I need this. Next thing you know, I'm working, you know what I'm saying, I'm designing for a WNBA player. And that's so slight because, you know what I'm saying, the person that I'm working with, he got Otto Porter wearing his stuff too. So he working with the Wizards, and I'm just like, bro, I could get my shit there. Like this is crazy. And it really just happened out of nowhere for me. It really happened off of just people, word of mouth, and people showing love and trusting me. Man, so, you know, everything till two, that's a homie Blue, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, I knew these youngins since video games time, so we talking middle school at this point. And he, you know what I'm saying, he started doing his brand, Everything Till Two, towards over the summer, I think 2 years ago. It's about to be like 2 years now for him, and I remember like just shooting with him, right? And he had so many people just coming together, just doing a shoot, and I thought that was so tight. And I remember like, I sent Blue a message. I was like, hey bro, keep doing what you're doing, don't worry about what nobody doing, you know what I'm saying? Do you. You know, fast forward a year later, I'm just like, hey bro, let's work, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's do something. And he was like, bro, I've been waiting, just do you. Whatever you want to do, I'm behind you. So he trusted my process completely, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do some shit that's gonna really set it off. I'm gonna do something like the city never seen. We're gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, represent DC, but in a different way. And what really inspired it was a lot of like, was like the 2016. I think DC had like a lot of homicides, right? It was terrible. I was at school at the time, and I was like, well, you know, DC known for, unfortunately, just a lot of homicides. But I'm gonna try to flip it in a way where it's cool. So I'm gonna take a rock tee. You know what I'm saying? I took like a Iron Maiden shirt, and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna try to rebrand that. So I took the skull that I just thought about, and I just flipped it into a way that DC could, you know, benefit from it. You know how we do Scullies and skull caps. I was like, that go hand in hand. And I sent it to him. He's like, bro, this is fire. Like, this is fire. I was like, hey, I appreciate it. So it just, you know what I'm saying? We just did our thing from there. He trusted me, and I was appreciative of that shit. Like, I was grateful.
So besides, you know, graphic design, you do a little photography work. So how did you, what made you, you know, get into photography? What inspired you to do that?
Just being in school and just like, you know what I'm saying, trying to find myself for real. Photography was, like I said, I was really into like magazines and shit as a kid. And photography really inspired me because it was able to like capture moments in that essence. So just doing that, I started with film actually, like developing, in a dark light studio, all of that stuff. And I was horrible at it, man. I was bad. Like I failed some projects, man. Like I walked out of that class with like a C-, barely making it. And but I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was good failure, if that makes sense. Like like you learn from it the most. So just doing that originally, and then just continuing to have faith in it, I was like, I like this. So photography was just one of those things that was stress relieving. Plus I was like really into just like the world around me, so I wanted to just capture moments, bro. And that just stuck with me, honestly.
Photography is my best thing to do because you can capture moments of history, moments in time, and that's how history is documented in a creative sense. So what was you thinking about this?
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's like from a year ago too. That was during an interview, man, for a local newspaper in Indiana. They were shooting me as an artist from the school for a Black History exhibition. It was my first solo exhibition, and it was based on photography. And what inspired me to say this is because I did a theme based upon social justice and progression in humanity. Not even just like, towards Black people, but people as a whole, for Black history. So, me saying that was just them trying to like really get into like how I felt about it. And off the rip, I was just really involved with their social justice. So, like I'm talking about, I was at Black Lives Matter protests, bro. I was protesting against like Ku Klux Klan rallies, bro. I was like at the forefront, bro. Like imagine a dude in a Klansman hood this close to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really out there, and I was really advocating change for people, and that's my main thing was. So, that quote in itself was just like, you know what I'm saying, capturing my moment in time and just people around me standing up for something, because at the end of the day, man, all we have is memories, and the only way to capture memories is through photography, bro. It's genius, man. It's really genius to think that you can capture time and space. Like, other than that, it's really just, remembering. Like, I was working on my senior thesis, and my professor was like, hey, there's an art exhibition that happening. I want you to enter it as for Black history. Clearly, she only did it because I was the only Black artist, bro. But it's all good because, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. It was my first exhibition. And, I'm a huge dude. At the time, like I told you, I'm a huge dude on social justice. And at the time, the homie Josh, he had just got incarcerated like a year ago, and I was like, really trying to figure out ways where I could make an impact. And me and Josh were always like, just talk on the phone. Like he would call me, bro. He rapped to me. He like, spit his poetry to me. And he'll like, we be singing songs on the jank over the phone. Like, like I'm talking about we singing like Jodeci and whatnot. Like it's weird, but it's like, that's the only thing that gave my man like hope, right? For real. And he would find hope through that. And I was like, I'm about to do something that's gonna really get this man hope. Like I wanted to do something impactful. So I said, hey bro, send me some poems. And ideally I was doing a photography exhibition, but I didn't want it to just be photographs. I wanted it to mean something. So I'm telling this dude to send me poems based off of photos he'll never see. So I'm over here trying to explain it to him like bro, whatever this brings to your mind, just write about it. And he wrote it, and I was just like, it's perfect. We're not gonna change nothing. We're not gonna edit it. We're just gonna keep it raw and simple. And so we put that jank together. I had set it up with the lady there, and it was an exhibition. And it meant the most to me because, like, I really gave this dude hope. But believe it or not, I just thinking about it, I always think about this part, like how like the area of Madison, Indiana, it was a sundown place. So like what that mean is like during like the time of segregation, if you were Black and they catch you at a time where like the sun was down, they'll hang you. And so like for me to be as a young, black boy just growing up trying to figure out life for himself in Indiana, I'm 10 hours away from home, and I'm in a place where, that has negative cultural reference, and I'm doing something for Black History Month. based upon, you know what I'm saying, the homie that's incarcerated, I feel like I really made history there, man. That it's impactful for me, and it gave him hope. And it was a blessing to see how many people came out to support, not just me, but Josh. Like, I'm talking about, you had old white ladies there talking about some, tell Josh I support him, I believe in him, like he's gonna get through it. And I'm like, bro, she's like 70 years old saying this, bro. Like, she was there during that time. So that shit was impactful to me, bro. And, you know, I sold prints. You know, half of the proceeds went to his books. So it was a great experience, man. It was beautiful, bro. Honestly, and it still stick with me. I still keep like a let me see if I got it on me. This shit's weird, but I might have it. I still keep like a newspaper jank with me, bro. This shit ripped up, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a document, like showcasing like the newspaper and shit when they interviewed me for the process. And you know what I'm saying? That shit mean a lot to me, bro. So, yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate it.
How much time you spend a day daily in your passion?
4 to 5 hours, man. Easy. It's just something that it means the most to me. And if I wake up in the morning, bro, if I don't have time to at least dedicate time towards it, I'm doing it after work. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about as soon as I get off of work, excuse me, working a 9 to 5. I come straight home, bro, and I'm working easy. Like, I'm in contact with all of my clients, and I'm dedicating at least 4 to 5, bro, at least. And I have to. It's the only way that I can function. Excuse me. Like, it's weird, man. Like, how some people have a routine. I have to design, man. If I don't design, I feel like I had a failed day. It's a part of me at this point, man. And it really came from talking to this girl. I told you about her earlier. The girl that, like, she sing with Gold Link and shit. Kilo Teacher. She's a rapper, actually. But I talked to her and she said, man, honestly, if you want to, like, really be, like, at a point where you really are in debt with what you do, you got to create every day. So after hearing her say that shit to me, man, I dedicated, like, at least half of a day, 6 hours, you know what I'm saying, to creating. So yeah, I dedicate at least 4 to 5 hours designing, man, sketching, thinking on the computer, just doing it. But to name specific people, you know, I definitely want to work with some of the local favorites, Enemies Forever and Eat for sure. I want to work with, there's this new brand that I just came across on Instagram by the name of Fermani. It's so fire, bro. It's like, it's so simplistic, but it's so tough. Like, her stuff is so crazy. And I think she cuts and sews her stuff by herself. But right now, man, I'm just really willing to work with anybody. I'm cool with working with the people I've been working with. I'm grateful to work with them. But nobody, you know, I'm just willing to work. DC's on a rise, man. So if you just want to collab, let's collab.
What's like the most important thing that you learned so far?
I'm nothing without the people around me, bro. That's truth, because from just starting, like, when I had my first show with, like, featuring Josh, I had like over 60 people there. And you know what I'm saying, 60 sounds small in the grand scheme of things, but you gotta think, you're talking about a small art exhibition, and you're talking about in a local town filled with 1,000 people. You got a school that's filled with 1,000 people, man. I had 60 people supporting me, bro, and that was just from the school. You know what I'm saying? So that just people alone, like, I appreciate it. And on my journey, like, to where I am now, I'm starting to realize that you gotta appreciate your own life, bro. Like, I took time off of social media to really find myself and you know, just try to figure out what was important to me. And honestly, it was just like not comparing my life to what other people had, but appreciating, you know, what I got around me, and that's people. Because at the end of the day, I could be spending 4 to 5 hours a day on my craft. I could be like drawing, you know what I'm saying? I could be at the top of my tier, whatever you want to call it. It ain't nothing if I can't share it with nobody, bro. It ain't nothing if I ain't got the people around me that, you know what I'm saying, knew me since I ain't had nothing. So definitely people around me that's for sure.
So I know you got a lot of projects you're working on.
For sure, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All the things.
Hell yeah.
What's next if you
Hell yeah.
If you could share anything, what's next? What could we be expecting? Like, what's the next project and stuff that you're
The next project that I'm working on right now is a couple of them, but
you ain't gotta get us there.
I know, bro. So I'm working with Blue. Me and Blue about to drop these shirts, everything 202. I'm working with Damage Crown. We about to drop some stuff for the fall. We actually just dropped some nice collections. Y'all need to check them out. It's so fire. I'm working with my homie Nautica, a model. She got her little thing that she doing. So we doing photo shoots. But on the grand scheme of things, one of the major things I'm working with is a dude from California by the name of Frank. He does 3D pieces. And we're thinking about doing like a multi-dimensional type of thing. So like with my graphic designs, I'm gonna have 2D prints on the wall. He's gonna build 3D pieces to come out of the pictures. And we hoping to maybe one day, have it as an exhibition. If not, we're gonna do a little pop-up thing. But that's really in the works. That's major.
What words would you give to somebody who wants to do graphic design, who wants to do photography, the kid who's like, I want to do this, but I can't do it. I don't got the computer. I don't know Photoshop. I don't know how to work the camera. Like, what words would you give to that kid who needs some inspiration?
Man, honestly, as cliche as it sounds, it's what she told me. Just do it, bro. Just do it. Honestly, you'll never know until you do it. At the end of the day, you miss 100% of the shots you don't shoot, bro. So you just gotta do it, honestly. And that's the best advice I could give you. I didn't always have Photoshop. I didn't always have, a computer, and I didn't always have, the courage to think that I could do it. But I had an imagination, and I just did it. Even just thinking it is a step to doing it. So that's the best thing I can tell you is just do it, man. Don't feel like you can't do it. And don't compare yourself to what other people doing, because 9 times out of 10, man, that shit ain't even real, bro. That's not even authentic. A lot of people just really just look like they doing it. They not really doing it. Because if you really doing it, you notice that this shit ain't easy. It's honestly 60% mental work, 40% doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly. And shout out to the homie Steve-O for being here with me, bro. That's love, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. That's love. Shout out Leak for, doing the interview with me. Shout out to everybody at the ComeUp. Shout out, I see y'all doing y'all thing for real, man. I've been following y'all for about a year now. Yeah, Kicknosis for real. I even love the, what's the thing called when y'all do the, not the behind the scenes, but the back of the class? That shit is so tough. Hey, yo, I used to be waiting for the new episodes to drop, and y'all used to talk about everything. They used to talk about politics, bro. They used to talk about pop culture. I used to be in that jank. When people used to say some wild shit, I used to get mad. Like I was watching a real live show, bro. But
yeah, man, AJ crazy.
Yeah, I ain't say that. I ain't know, but hey, look, bro, the shit was cool, man. I loved it, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Cash showing support. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Cam and Indy. Shout out to everybody in Indiana. Shout out to everybody in DC showing love, bro. Shout out to Pops, man. Appreciate you to the fullest. Everybody, man. If I ain't name you, I still love you. I'm sorry, but it's a lot of people that I just gotta show love to. But thank y'all.